Hello. I am alive. Barely. It's been a rough week. I was a bit sick for a few days, and before that, work was a bit crazy, so haven't been able to get back to streaming. Oh hey! That was a very quick join. Yeah, so wanted to stream a few days ago and I was just too sick. And yeah, young people early in their careers, really, people should look after their health. Don't do what I did. Don't be 40 years old and then your health is screwed because you spent a few decades not really looking after yourself. Do some exercise. Don't just sit around all day. Unless you're in London and then you're not allowed to exercise on Friday because the air pollution is too high. Just move around a little bit. Eat something healthy occasionally. Eat something green that's supposed to be green. If it's not supposed to be green, don't eat it. Ooh, is there something wrong with my audio, or is it just on your side? I think mine's fine. I did a quick test earlier, but I also had some technical difficulties. So who knows? It will be embarrassing if this is just me being quiet and nobody can hear me. But yeah, and don't work too much. I started off my beginning and my middle of my career by just working insane hours all the time, thinking that that's going to make me a worthwhile employee, and people will think, wow, look how hard this guy works. And yeah, that does work for a while, but then you end up at a point where you've been working 70-something-ish hours a week for months on end, and you start getting sick, and then you don't sleep, and then you get sicker because you don't sleep. And then yeah, and now I am where I just get sick all the time. And it's a lot harder getting your health under control when you're older. I feel like when you're young, you just bounce back really easily. You can go weeks just being completely insane and then sleep 1 or 2 nights and then you feel good. But yeah, I don't know, this middle age thing, it's not really working that well for me. I feel like you get a little bit sick, and then if you don't suddenly rest, it just completely spirals out of control and you get very sick. Which, yes, sad. But I am okay now, except for me that's gonna cough a little bit occasionally. No COVID coughs, just normal weak lungs cough. Don't know why. Don't feel that sick overall anymore, but we'll see if I'm gonna have a very disruptive lung while we're talking, and I might stop earlier because who wants to listen to somebody cough all the time? Oh hey, another viewer. I have no idea how to pronounce your name, but I feel I say that for every single viewer. I'm not good with the letters. So yes, we're relaxing Sunday afternoon, just chatting a little bit, and then I dragged my microscope out of the closet again, and gonna look at some small, tiny microscopic things. What I want to do is I want to find one of those tiny water bears. I went outside a few days ago when I was feeling a bit better, and collected some moss and scraped some things off trees. So that has been lying in a small little bowl of water for a while now, hopefully growing all sorts of interesting things. So yes, we're gonna do that. Probably just start off with a little bit of Wordle again, because I'm really enjoying that. I didn't do yesterday, just sleeping. So yes, and then depending on what time it is, might play a game or two, or go to bed. I will see. So yeah, I'm not very much of a how do you say, a gamer. I just mostly play solo games, just all by myself, nothing too challenging, just to relax after a normal work day. I feel like work's challenging enough. Why do I want to come home and then challenge myself again? So yes, currently off stream I'm playing through the Mass Effect trilogy again. I played through it ages and ages and ages ago. But yes, so I'm having a bit of fun with that. I don't know whether I should have actually played it on stream or not. I don't think so. I think I want to do a nice chill, just do that by myself thing. Oh, thanks for the follow. Followers are growing. Ooh. So yes, some things I think I'm just going to keep that to myself and play that off stream when I'm too grumpy to be talking to people. But yeah, that's still a lot of fun. I wish BioWare still made games like that. Unfortunately, they don't, which is sad. But luckily, yeah, I can play through all three of those old ones again with the Legendary Edition. And I've got it then with my Game Pass connected to EA, whatever. But that's on my personal account, and yes, I'm not going to show that on stream because what if it leaks my other username of my other account? Then people will know. What if somebody who knows me sees that? I definitely don't want that. So yes, let's start off with a quick little. Let's move myself over here to this little corner. Make me hide. Is the music too loud or too quiet? To me it sounds really loud, but looking at the audio bars, it looks very quiet, so I can't really tell. But yes, let's start off with my daily game of Wordle, and we'll see if I can actually get it this time. So I've rested a while, so I think my brain is back to normal levels, which unfortunately is not that high. So yes, I don't know what word to start with today. What did I have last time? I think let us start with the classic farts. It's just such a good word to start with. You've got those S's, you've got the A, you've got the R. That just seems like a good one. Oh, A, R, and S. Okay. That is going to be an interesting one. Farts is a good word to start with, because if you're slightly childish like me, it does make you giggle, and yeah, it's got some good letters. I should find one that's got an E as well. Because I feel you rule out a lot of words if you use or don't use the E. No T's, which is good. Okay, let's try. I feel a bit overwhelmed by having 3 letters already in the first one. Yes, farts is a good word in general as well. Unfortunately, I don't seem to be able to work it into everyday conversations. Because my most everyday conversation is basically just talking to people at work, and I don't know a professional way to work that into our work terms. Maybe I can come up with a cool acronym for something that actually just spells farts. We'll see. Okay, let's try. I think I'm going to start with an S. S, R, no, I don't think so. Oh, already don't know. What word has an I, an R, and an S? See if I can get it really quickly this time. But I'm not going to hope for too much. I'll be happy with just getting it at all. So yes, let's do no clues. I just want to focus my brain on this one, and we'll see. Am I actually going to get this? S-P-A... Oh, that's not gonna work. Spark. Yeah, so we've got the A, we've got the R, we've got the S. Go. O. Okay, starts with an S. Nice, 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 nice. Didn't get any extra letters, but that's okay. At least we know the S is in the spot. The R is... oh, sorry, the A isn't in any of these two. And the R isn't in any of those two, so... SR. Sure, that doesn't feel like that could be right. So is the R going to have to be at the end? Okay, so... I think we're going to try and get something that looks vaguely like this. S something something R. And then somewhere in between there needs to be an A, and it's not the second or the third character, so it has to be the fourth character. So we want to find that. Maybe the A needs to be at the end. I can't think of something that's SR. It doesn't feel very Englishy. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's gonna be difficult as well. Doesn't feel right either. Huh. What letters could go in here? Makes sense. Oh, I have a good idea. I have a good idea. Sonar. So we've got the S in the right place. We've got the A, not in any of those two. We've got the R, not in those two. And an O. Oh. Ah. Close. Close, but we know 4 of the letters. We just need to figure out what works in here. Oh. Solar. Right? Okay, I'm gonna have to get this one because, yes, we've got 3 more guesses left and aren't that many letters that actually fits. Oh wow, nice. This was my best one ever. Good. I don't know if I accidentally played in a different browser or something the first and the second time because I don't have my previous scores. I just have the last one I did. Great. But that first one I did, I got too many clues anyway, so that shouldn't have counted. I should have had that as a loss. I just find it really hard to... not hard to lose, but hard to get to the point where you can even think of a word to type, even if it's the wrong word or not. Nice, 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 nice. That was a bit quicker than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, but this was so lucky for me. Picking sonar. Could have been so many other words. That was really lucky. Because that does rule out almost everything. Unless it's some weird word that I couldn't think of again. Great. Great. Oh, this was a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. Damn. Gonna run out of things to do. I'm not quite yet ready to jump on the microscope, so I think let's do a very quick, just a very quick round of GeoGuessr. Let's do a timed one and just see how bad I can possibly do. Let me switch this. Where's that? Let's do a very quick GeoGuessr. Done. Trying to remember to change the stream titles. Not the title, sorry, the category. Not that great at it yet, but I'm assuming you get used to it as you go on. Feels like at work where you need to log your time. Oh, so what did you do? You did farts, arrow, roses, Soras. I don't even know what that means. Sonar, solar. Yeah, that works. Okay, what can I do? Let's do a quick... Let's do a difficult one. Let's just do a really difficult one, but I'm gonna do a... I'm gonna do a timed, so I can't take too long. Photospherical world. Easy, nice, I like easy. No move. Read our description. 417 photospheres. There's enough clues. Clues are hidden. Country flags. Oh no. Names of cities. Oh no. Islands, rivers, writings and license plates. Shape of coast. Compass always accurate. Although sometimes slightly wrong, which is the opposite of the word accurate, but fine. Always useful. I don't believe these people who do these things in like such a few minutes with getting it perfect. Okay, so no moving, and let's put a... Oh, this is going to be... Let's put a 3 minute per round, so this ends up being, what, a 15-minute game. Yes. Great. Let's go. Already, I am not so sure. Oh, screwed that up. Okay. Magic taste ice cream. Oh. Ooh. I mean, that looks French, I think, but some of the other bits don't. Just because something looks French doesn't mean it is. Huh. Expensive car. So we've got... Huh. I have no idea. I mean, this is all... Oh, but just because it's French doesn't mean it's in France. Which colonies of France still exists that isn't in Africa? I don't feel like this is... What letters are those? Oh, 1 minute left. What have we got in the east that's... Didn't we have the French in Vietnam at some point? Maybe it is actually. Maybe it is actually sort of Morocco-ish. Oh, I don't have enough time. I've got 40 seconds or 20 seconds. Fine, let's just pick somewhere in Morocco. Go. Oh, no. Oh, Mauritius. Okay. Whoops. Hey, I got some points. That's good enough. It's not really good enough, but at least I'm in the correct hemisphere. Okay, so Mauritius has... Oh, of course, if you look at the name, it already sounds very Frenchy. Okay, at least now I know. Now I know. Okay. Need to do better than 28 points for the next one. Ooh. Why blur that sign? Yeah, I don't think I know enough about the world to be able to do this one. Is this Spanish as well? I don't know. I feel I need to know some of these places. .ro. Oh man. What's .ro? .ro. It doesn't really mean anything if the letters won't always... I don't know why I always just go South America. Why do I go South America? Oh wait, that's EU. Okay. One minute. Unless this person drove there with their bike, but the fact that that says RO and the website is .ro. Okay, so that is Europe, 50 seconds. Which European country has... Why do I think that was Spanish? That's definitely not Spanish then, because I don't think that's... Is it Romania? Where in Romania? 40 seconds. Let's just pick there. Do we look very high? We look like we're in like mountains and things, right? Like look how close those clouds are. Either in mountains or we're just a place with some hills. I just don't know. Okay, I'm gonna have to just guess. 20 seconds left. So if I don't know, why don't I just pick right there in the center? I could probably just go through these places and figure it out, but yes, guess. Nice. Nice. I feel like that made up. But it was supposed to be obvious, I think. I missed the little EU flag, and I missed the fact that it was .ro. Why did I think Spanish? I have no idea why. I wish you could go back to just check. But I feel like every time I see a language, I think, oh, I understand the letters, that must be Spanish, and it's never Spanish. So, yeah, there's a lot of the sort of symbol-y things vaguely overlap. Yeah, I didn't really think what to expect for Romanian alphabet. I guess it was a bit mountainous area. I've never been to Romania. Oh, okay, so I don't have to rush to press the guess button. They'll pick my last guess. Yeah, maybe I should do that then, because I waste a few seconds by not picking. But this at least this forces me to just go. Otherwise, I will sit here for 30 minutes and follow roads and stuff like this, which I don't really want to do right now. Okay, this one was good. So if I average the first and the second one, I think I'm still okay. Not too bad. Let's see. Oh. I mean, I'm gonna guess this is China, seeing as that says China Merchants Bank and it's got Chinese characters. Review, I can't pronounce that. But China's huge, so where in China would that be? Oh, cute. Two beetles, same color, interesting. So city. Oh, I've got an HSBC as well. Christmas time. Am I gonna have to go for seeing whether Chengdu is a city or not? It could be anything. It could just be the name of the building. Yeah, so many people on their bikes and things as well. Oh, don't get distracted. Don't get distracted. Oh, that was lucky. So let's just plop it down here. Let's plop it down in the... So, there's a river. Okay. And a bridge. Oh, but which bridge? There's obviously a lot of bridges. Let's see if we can spot something that looks like a park or something, maybe. I mean, we can see two other bridges. So we'll have to be somewhere where we can see two other smaller bridges more easily. And we're looking west. We're like somewhere over there. Are we literally over here? I don't think that's the correct bank. But we are out of time. Am I going to click? I'm going to not click and then just make sure that it actually takes us. Oh! Wow, that was close. Oh, China Merchants Bank. Wow, this was a lucky one. Holy crap. Oh, so you don't see these two bridges, you see those two bridges. This was so lucky. But it's all just because of the fact that if you're zoomed out far enough, it says it clearly. Like, it only says like 3 or 4 cities. Super lucky. Wow. And then, yes, a river. And we're looking west, and we can see 2 other bridges. If I zoomed in a little bit, I would have been able to see China Merchants Bank, but I was getting a little bit panicky. Because we're running out of time. But yes, I'm not going to complain about this one. This was another good one. Nice. Next. Gosh, I've taken some time to breathe. Faradero, San Antonio. Hotel, Nautica, Steakhouse. Oh. Oh man, I really need to learn my languages. I'm assuming if you actually looked at this and you knew exactly which language it was, that would narrow it down a lot. Academian, what other characters? Is that Portuguese? If it's an S something? And yes, I'm fully aware that I go, is it Spanish? And then I go, maybe it's Portuguese. And then I get stuck. And then I just look for weird characters Okay, let's just go look. I want to see if San Antoni, is that? Is that even? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not, maybe it is. Maybe it is a bit more Spain. Because Sun. Oh, but there's another character after that. I'm gonna guess. Oh, running out of time. I'm gonna guess like on the border here. So I'm sort of halfway between the two. It's very possible it's not gonna be anywhere close to here. I don't know why I mean, looks. Or is this gonna be? Oh, San Antoni. Why have they got the T along with it? What is this island? Oh, it's Ibi. Oh, it's not Ibiza, right? It's Ibiza. Never been, and I also don't really want to go. Not really that kind of party person. I think I would hate it. Okay. I'm assuming this is just why people would just know. It's close enough. Close enough. I am okay with that. Last one. Oh no, I'm not going to beat the average score. Is this going to be Paraguay then, seeing as it says Paraguay? Is that a Pepsi sign? Don't know. Yeah, I don't know enough to look at this and say, oh, that's the name of a place, or that's the name of a... Like, is this just sort of the shopping center name? Or is it the name of the... What am I looking for? I know nothing about Paraguay. Oh, is that their flag as well, not Pepsi? I'm gonna have to Google what the Pepsi sign looks like, because I looked at this and I thought, yep, Pepsi sign. Maybe Pepsi got inspired by them. Just gonna pick here and then just look around a little bit. There must be something else on this sign that I'm missing. Is this like a place name, maybe? Is that a place name? Alto per... Oh, no, I'm gonna have to zoom out. If it's anything I have to zoom in for, I'm not gonna get it. 30 seconds. 30 seconds, 20 seconds. I just went for biggest city. Just in case. No. Hey, that's close enough. It doesn't bring me to that. Oh, I'm saying close enough. It's on the opposite side of the country, but at least it's just in the country. It's like on the border between Paraguay and is that a little bit of Argentina going around? This is a really good way to learn. And occasionally I used to just go into Google Maps and I'll just zoom in a little bit and check a few places out. But this is a really good way to just see where some countries are and how they behave. Interesting little border, sort of all hugging Paraguay here from the side. Like people really didn't want them to share a border, but then in the end they did. Maybe this is a really valuable area and they ended up grabbing it. Who knows? How would I have gotten that? I don't see how I would have gotten that. Unless the name was somewhere. Oh, maybe there was a road sign or something that sort of said, oh, there's a border. Maybe. That would have been useful. But no, I'm happy with that one. If it wasn't for that one guess that I got so wrong, I would have done good. If it wasn't for the Mauritius one, I should have thought about Mauritius. Because a lot of South Africans go to Mauritius because it's close by for holiday, but I've never went. I just didn't think about it. And yes, it's so tiny, you're never going to think about it unless you specifically think about it. But this was a nice one. Sometimes I like the non-moving ones. It does force you to think and guess a bit more. Or if you don't play with the timer, it does force you to give up a little bit earlier. Because with the ones where you can move, you can sit there and for an hour you can just... What's that little island? Oh. French, Southern and Antarctic lands. I don't see any. Unless that's... Never heard of in my life. Probably not going to go there. I don't think the internet's that great. Yeah. So this is also French. Okay, not going to forget that. What was this? Oh, it was just some viewpoint. What cities do they have? Oh, Port Louis. It's Louis, right? It's not Louis. No, it's Louis. I think. Yeah, words like this. Is it Louis? Is it Louise? Is it Lois? Who knows? Depends who's saying it. Great. That was not bad. How do I go back to... Oh, I did get 17,000 something points, so that's not that bad. I thought I wouldn't get it. But even with my timer on, I played 3 times longer than some of the other people without their timers. I don't know, either they're really, really good, or they cheat. Or maybe a little bit of both. I wonder if we're ever going to get something in Antarctica. Just snow. I need to guess. What the hell? Okay, let's do a quick cough. Luckily I've got the mute button, so I don't accidentally have to cough straight into the microphone. Just gonna take a drink as well. Oh, accidentally knocked something over. Let's put this back. Great. So yeah, that went by a bit quicker than I thought. But let's see if we can do some science today. So if I switch over to my science window, let's get some more light. I'm going to change my stream info to something a bit more correct. Searching for a tardigrade. Is that correct spelling? Yes, it is. In science and technology. Yes. So, with my trusty microscope, I want to find one of these fellows. Let's switch back. I want to find one of these little guys. Don't know how hard that's going to be. I haven't found one previously, but I looked up and people say, hey, you can find them in moss or random things that grow on trees and on dirt. So a few days ago I scraped some moss and some stuff off a tree and I put them in some water and I've let them just linger there a little bit. See if that's going to work. Very likely we're not going to find one, but maybe we can find something that's also very creepy crawly and tiny and cute. Let's go back to my microscope scene. So I just started off over here with some slide I already had. I think that's onion cells or something, just to make it look pretty so it's not just a grey blob. What I've also done since previous times, I bought a little light box and I bought another webcam, so I can do something like this. Oh, I've also bought myself some rubber gloves, so I don't have to do this is rubber glove sounds. Ooh. So I can put stuff on slides and then people can see, instead of it just being me not talking for a while. Struggling to get these gloves on. Don't want to show my hands on stream. Really weird looking hands, and then if somebody sees that, they will know. I'll say, I know whose hands that is. So this, where my hand now is, this is on a desk next to me. So if I look away, my audio is going to get a little bit quieter, and obviously the ViewTube thing won't work. So yes, this was my Christmas present to myself this year, was the microscope. I've always wanted one, and they're not actually that expensive, so I can play around a little bit and we can see if we can find anything fun. And I've looked at all sorts of weird things. What I still want to do is I want to go and do some pond somewhere and scoop out some dirty pond water and see if we can find some creatures in there, and some algae. But for today we're going to look at the moss. So I do have these 3 little plastic containers. This has, is it lichen? Is it lichen? I don't know how to pronounce it. I scraped this off a tree, so we're going to put this on a slide. And then I've just got a couple different mosses. Mosses? Doesn't sound right. This one's a bit more green. So yes. I don't know what I would do if I find them. There's not really much I can do. I'll probably just dump them back, and then I'll throw all this away outside so you can go crawl back into nature. They're apparently almost unkillable, so they live through anything. I think they want to send a few of them to space recently to just go investigate. I think they just can't die. They're very robust little creatures. So yeah, let's put some of that first one on a slide. So I've got these cheapo slides that I bought. Let me see if I can move my microphone. I'm going to accidentally say microphone where I mean microscope, and the other way around, so just act like I'm not an idiot. Let's see if I can move this around, because otherwise I'm going to go really quiet. Oh no, I've got all my cables jumbled up. Great. Oh, this is going to be really weird. I can't really reach in here that well. I can't see on my screen whether something's going on. So let's hope everything doesn't completely fall over. So, glass slide. It's a bit dirty. I don't know if I can make out how dirty this is. Oh, I'm gonna see my reflection accidentally. Oh no. I'm gonna clean this just with a little cloth, just get most of the dust off. It's also very cheap slide, so it's sharp on the edges. I didn't buy the expensive one, so maybe I should have, so I'm gonna try not to accidentally cut myself. Okay, so we have some glass. Let's take this away. And then we have these tiny pieces of glass, which, if I can get this open again. So we're going to take some of this. Let's take some of the moss first. We're going to take some of this, put it on the glass slide, and then put one of these tinier slides on top. It's got a little tweezer to tweeze. So yeah, let's see what we can do. Take some of this, and oh wow, no, I've got too many cables around here now. See if I can grab just some of them, just some of the moss. Oh, so I'm gonna cough again. Oh, okay, voice is back. If my voice disappears, I might stop the stream for a little bit, but I don't think it will. I have almost no science background. Last time I did any biology, I was in school, which means that was 17, so that's what, 20 something years ago? So yes, this is going to be an amateur person doing biology. It's not the typical biology you see on Twitch. On Twitch when it's biology, it's more like people doing things, showing you their anatomy, and then they get banned. Just want to get a couple decent little pieces. Let's see if I can find something that's worthwhile scooping out that isn't just dirt. Let's grab some of that. Let's just do this. Oh no, I accidentally. I was supposed to just dump some water. I wasn't supposed to remove it. This is really hard. I should just use my finger. If I can just... Yeah, let's just do that. Drop a little bit more water on. I think that still might be a bit too big of a piece, but we'll see. Like I said, I don't really know what I'm doing. It's been a few weeks since I bought this, and other than watching some guy on YouTube, I don't know. Just gonna clean this little piece of glass. Oh, every time when I turn left and I look at my screen, then my face comes alive again. So yeah, that... It's very unlikely I'm going to find something, but I feel like you need a goal. Oh no, that piece is too big. But... Yeah, that piece is too big. I'm not gonna care, I'm just gonna put more water on. This is... Any biologist looking at this will probably be very, very upset right now. So yes, this is supposed to be a lot flatter, and it's supposed to be straight up against the glass. Okay, let me switch back to microscope view. Yeah, this would be nicer if I actually had... I'm sorry for the bouncy noises, that is my microphone bouncing around a really tiny desk. It's really hard to find everything you want to find on a tiny desk. Okay, and yes, this image is not very high res. I've got a really cheap, bad USB camera connected to the microscope. Oh no, that frame rate is way too low. Can I make this brighter? Why is that frame rate so low? Give me a quick second, sorry. Why is that only one? Aww. No, this is not gonna work. Okay, I'm going to have to... I think this is me not using correct USB ports. USB ports are a bit overloaded, so I'm gonna have to quickly disconnect this one camera, and then I'm gonna have to disable my other box. Which is not the end of the world. I can do that. I'll remove this one. Plug this one in. Yes, I've got too many cameras plugged into too few USB ports currently. Is that doing anything? No, I have to restart this. Sorry. It's never interesting to do... oh no, wrong application. It's never interesting to do this kind of... Oh, that's much better. Great. Nice. You don't want to do like fixing tech stuff on stream, but yes, sometimes it can't really be helped. Okay, so this is a tiny piece of moss. Bits of dirt. And some water. Oh, the background, my background picture over here, I just downloaded off some royalty-free place that provides images you can use for commercial purposes. I thought it looked very sciencey. Makes everything look smart. But yes, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go through. I want to see if I can see anything moving, and then we'll zoom into that. But I don't. So this is about 40 times magnification. Which is not a lot. Huh, I don't see anything yet. Maybe I should go closer. Let's go. So this is going to be 100 times. Oh, sorry, then just noticed there's a green box. Need to refocus. At least the moss looks cool. It's really pretty. Nice having something with a bit more color on here. Previous things I looked at didn't really... It's going to flicker a little bit every time I move around because I've got it set to auto expose. But yes, it's not perfect. I just don't want to have to go and manually adjust everything every single time I change a setting, because that's not fun. I thought I would see more things moving around. Maybe it's just too cold out. Oh, that was something that moved really quickly. Still don't. So yes, I'm going to have to adjust the focus sometimes because we focus on different layers. Just to see whether anything shows up. Maybe this is just not rotten enough yet. Maybe we need something a bit grosser. There's something alive there in the center. It's too quick. I won't be able to find it if I magnify more. That's too quick and too big. That's not what I'm looking for, but I think I am going to just yeah, we're looking for Ant-Man. that would be really funny. Hilarious. Sorry, wrong window. It would be funny if I managed to find something really tiny like that and plop it down on a slide. Don't see anything. Why is it so dead? This makes me more worried. In a previous stream, I grabbed a long piece of plastic and I scraped it on the inside of my shower drain, and I found so many alive things. So many. Crawling around oh, there's some things. It's not what I'm looking for, but it is alive. Okay, I'm gonna have to magnify more. We're gonna unfortunately lose him when I magnify because he's too quick. He's a speedy boy. Oh, and he goes up and down as well, and then we lose focus. Okay, let's magnify. This is going to be 400 times. It's going to take me a while to get this correctly set up. Oh, it's going to be really hard. As you can see, because I didn't manage to get everything as flat as I wanted, there's a lot of space for things to move up and down as well, and then it's really hard to find a good focus position. And I'm also looking at the screen when I'm doing this. I'm not looking through the microscope, so it's slightly hard. Something's moving there, but whether it's something alive or if it's just how the water moves. Oh, it's so hard to focus. Can't tell. I can't tell. Okay, I'm not going to use the light box again. Let me just take off these stupid rubber gloves. They make my hands really warm. But it does make me feel like a science guy if I've got them on. Yeah, gross. Sweaty hands. Great. So now let's see if we can find something. Oh, yeah, I don't look at my my model at all. I have no idea what he looks like when I'm focusing. I'm also halfway hiding behind my microphone, so I think sometimes he'll probably lose I've got my microphone on a desk stand, which I don't think is best. But I didn't have space for a nice desk arm yet. I don't know where it would go. No, there's something moving, unless that was just me bouncing. I want to find something bigger to find. 400 times it's a decent magnification. Wait, what's this dude? Is that's moving, but is that moving because the water's moving? Oh, I can't get both sides of him in focus because like he's slowly drifting towards the right. Is something pushing him? There are these little... Oh, my mouse pointer, I can do that. I didn't think of that. Yeah, so are these tiny things pushing that long piece of whatever, or is that moving by itself? It's hard to tell. I'm gonna go the wrong way accidentally. Oh, there's a slightly bigger one. Nobody's so quick. Oh, I just can't focus. See if I can get more light in, maybe that helps. No, need to close that down. Ah, so this will look worse, but I should be able to get him into focus a little bit better. Oh, yeah, he's moving up and down too quickly, so I'm not quite getting him in focus. So I don't know what these things are. This is not what I'm looking for. This is too small. Oh, there's something bigger. Or is it just closer? I lost him. Fine. Let's go back to that central big piece. I feel if we find something alive, it should be around... Something just moved down, but I missed it. If you find something alive, I think it should be around the plant stuff. That's where I would be. The rest is just pieces of dirt. There's a tiny guy swimming there and there. A lot of tiny little guys. Just struggling with getting a nice focus. Yeah, unfortunately there's tiny little creatures in everything we have. If that's a bit scary, then that's gonna be not great for you, but if you find them cute, then good. Because yes, they are everywhere. And yes, if you can get even closer and you start seeing all the different bacteria living in and on everything, Okay, I've got 2 more samples of... Oh, there's there's something here. There's a lot of small things moving, but it's hard to tell whether it's really moving. Is it something alive? Oh, no, alive is difficult. How do you say alive? I don't know how you classify something as alive. What does it need to be alive? Does it just need to be a cell or more? In that case, yeah, sure. Alive. It's hard to tell whether something's alive and moving by itself or whether it's just the water moving and things naturally spreading about the water as the water gets hot and flows around, or things just... Oh, there's another little guy there in the middle. He's just in a circle. I want to find something bigger. Where's the exciting things? Where are they? Where are you guys hiding today? Maybe I didn't treat this sample too well. Yeah, it's a really bad one because the thing I put on the glass is a little too thick and it's not completely flat. So the glass isn't completely flat, which then makes it really hard to focus. I'm gonna go to a slightly small, lower magnification again, and then we can... Oh, this is too bright, isn't it? Then we can maybe find something and then zoom in again. Oh, this is too bright. I need to try a different kind of microscope lighting where the background isn't white. The background is black, and then you have the light shining in from the side. So everything moving, everything doing something, everything a little bit transparent, they're going to be white. And then that looks really cool. Let me show that. Dark field. So yeah, so this is what we currently have, which is bright field microscopy, where the light is shining in from the bottom, the background is then white, and everything else that's translucent shows up like this. If you've got dark field, it could look like this, which I think looks a lot cooler. And then if you actually find little creatures, they could show up like this, which looks very cool. But yes, unfortunately, I don't have that quite yet. You can hack something together or you can buy stuff, and I forced myself to start buying stuff for a little bit because I am a bit spendy when it comes to buying hobby things. Come on. Let's find someone. Where are you guys hiding? Oh, what did I say earlier? I'm going to look around there. I'm going to look around here. Unless they're all hiding in the bits that aren't translucent. But yeah, we can see the individual cells making up the moss. Yeah, let's look at the plant, and then by surprise, we're going to find something. Oh, sorry. So yeah, look at this. This is the tiny little leaf of the moss. You can see how green it is. You can see the cell structures. Really cool. I wish we had microscopes at school. That would have made biology a lot cooler. But yes, we didn't really have the budget for anything like this. I had a tiny little children's microscope when I was little, which basically just goes to sit somewhere with light, and there's a tiny little mirror, and it reflects the light through. And yeah, I loved it, but obviously the magnification of that is not high enough to see stuff like this, and it's just amazing. What I would actually love more is the opposite of basically a microscope, which would be a telescope. If I lived somewhere where I could have where it's dark outside, not a lot of lights, and you could just shine that telescope out the window, that would be amazing. I've never checked, but that would be awesome if there's some streamer that streams with a telescope. That would be so cool. But the benefit of a microscope instead of a telescope is you can do it any time of day. And yes, it's easier. If I pointed a telescope out my window, the neighbors are going to think I'm peeking on them, and they'll probably call the police. I'm looking for something that lives on the leaves. Oh, there's a tiny guy just over here. Why's that? Oh, there. Oh, I need to make the window active. Then the mouse captures. Right, so the mouse loses over here. I'm just experimenting with OBS. So yeah, there's something living over there. Let's see if I can find him. He's not moving a lot, so if I move him to the center, great. And then I increase the magnification. And I have to wait for it all to adjust. Oh. Oh no, I don't have enough light. I'm going to have to open this up. The problem with this is if the light goes too dim, then my frame rate absolutely drops to nothing. Oh, I can't focus on him. He's not very visible. But he's just... I don't know if he's munching on something. Is he stuck? Don't know. I do have a... Oh, is that my... Oh, this is the wrong one. I thought that was my 400. Is that actually my 600 times one? Yeah, the 600 is difficult. Sometimes it's... You have to be too close for something to be in good focus, and then it bumps into the glass, and then everything moves. Which I don't really want to use it until I figure out how to correctly use it. So what I do want to use, I want to use the 400. Oh, it's technically a 40 times, but the lens thing is 40 times, and then the view that goes into the camera is another 10 times. So 10 times 40, 400. So that's why these microscopes that advertise silly things like, this is a 2,500 times microscope. Ooh, that's amazing. Which, that's basically the one I've got, but all that means is you take the 100 times one, which you're technically supposed to use with oil. I've bought a different one. And then you use that with your 25 times eyepieces, so it's 25 times 100, 2,500. But at that level, things aren't that visible. They get very blurry. With just 400 times or 600 times, you can see a lot. There's a little... Oh, did he just move under the leaf? Oh, there's a guy right in the middle there next to that dark spot. And he didn't move, and then he just moved under that leaf. Yeah, I think this is going to work. Oh, this is a water bubble. Or a little air bubble. Looks cool. Looks like some kind of alien thing. I think this is going to work. Let's just look at the cool plant stuff, and then by chance, if something tiny swims by, we'll look at it. Because odds are, like, okay, I named the stream now, looking for a tardigrade or something like that, but yes, it's not really something you just plan to find in 30 minutes, I think. I think people spend days and days and multiple samples looking at stuff, trying to find it. Oh, did I see something move there? I also can't tell whether something moved or whether I bumped it. Yeah, so there's a leaf here we can focus on. And then above it, there's another one. So it looks like we're sort of looking through this one into this one. That's not actually what's happening. Oh, there's something alive. Right there in the middle. If I can just find it. Oh, he's swimming. He's too fast for me. Oh no, wrong way. I have to turn these two knobs, and I always forget which way I have to turn them to go left or right or up and down. He just needs to go somewhere I can focus on him. Ah, oh, lost him. Yeah, people can take beautiful pictures like this, but for that, you can get these attachments for DSLR cameras or mirrorless cameras or whatever camera you can find. If it's got a removable lens, you can even get phone attachments for this. You can have a much better camera. Like I'm using a USB camera that's specific for microscope. I don't know if I should actually have spent a bit more money and bought something decent, but the problem with buying decent cameras is it gets really expensive really quickly. And then I don't know if that's worth it. What if you buy all the stuff and then you don't like it? You can always sell it. Maybe I should have bought a second-hand camera. But yes, this is good enough for what I'm doing currently. But if I wanted to take some actual nice photos, like this is very low res. This isn't even 1080p. This is 1024 by 768. It can go slightly higher resolution, but then it's just a USB 2 camera, then it starts struggling with the frame rate, then it just can't. So I'd much rather go for slightly lower resolution, but I can see things moving. Where if I did... Is that doing it? Yeah, so like this is what it would look like if I had a lower frame rate, and that's not nice at all. You can't see anything move, everything takes too long to update. That's horrible. So yes, I'd much rather have slightly lower quality, but when I move, it moves. This isn't even that high frame rate. It's 22 frames or 25 frames a second, depending on how the auto exposure adjusts. But it's good enough. But yes, if you've got a camera that can capture 4K and you push that out through HDMI and you've got a nice capture card, you can get some really amazing videos. Especially if you end up finding something. You could also just sit there and look through the eyepieces, but I like using the camera, because then yes, you do have the opportunity to just capture something. Yeah, that looks so cool. 3 tiny little things moving around, and oh, this is getting very dark, so the frame rate's dropping. See if I can get a bit more light in. So we're not seeing any of the background directly now. It's all just going through the grass. I say grass, it's not grass, it's moss, through the leaves. So yeah, there's these tiny 3 little guys moving in that area there. I keep on saying little guys. I don't know. They're little whatevers. Oh, there's another small selection of things moving around. Oh, nothing here. I might just move over to the other little pots of things I've got. Maybe this was just not a great sample. It's not something alive, is it? No. Let's go back to our lowest magnification. Oh, a little bit out of focus. So yeah, this is the leaf, or the piece of moss with its little leaves that I've been looking at all this time. Okay, I think let's see if we can get something going. Oh wait, oh, there's something right there. It's a little worm. Let's hope he doesn't swim away. Let's be quick. Focus. Yeah, it's a little one cell. Yeah, I mentioned you sort of zoom in all the way and you find something and it's actually got a little face. Oh man, it's like this thing knew I was looking at it. Now it's hiding behind. Yeah, I don't know what these are called. I've seen a few of them. They look like little worms. Can I get slightly better image out? Yeah, he's moving too quick. So yeah, he's just crawling around this. I almost said rock. I don't know, a little piece of dirt. How are you calling him Gerald? Yeah. Okay, at least there's something alive. I was getting a bit worried. Like, why is nothing alive? I thought maybe the water I put it in was a bit not right. Oh, he's just... Stop moving, man. Just stand still for a little bit. I want to look at you. And no, he's just going to keep on crawling behind this small piece of dirt. Yeah, now he's on the back. Oh, there he's on the left side again. Oh, maybe he's stuck. Yeah, man, pose for the photo. Say cheese. Yeah, look at him. Look at him go. It's crazy. Yeah, Gerald, stop. Sit still. Okay, he's left. He's left his zone. Just really quick. Okay. If he sits still, I can magnify more. Please don't move, please don't move, please don't move. Okay. Yes. Check him. Oh, now he's moving again. Oh, that's stuck to him. So yeah, it's just this... Oh no, wrong way. Oh, if I lose him... I want to adjust the focus, but on the same side of the microscopes, if I adjust the focus, I have to take my hand off the movement knobs. Oh no, no, no. Oh, and then I lose him. But yeah, let's look at him go. You can see straight through him. You can see, I don't know if he's got a mouth in the front or what he does, how he eats. I should look up a bit and see what these things are. Oh no, damn it. Oh, he's about to leave the slide. He's escaping, I think. Oh no, oh, crap, I lost him. Ah, found him. Yeah, he's on his way somewhere. He's in a hurry. I don't know what he's doing. Is he getting food? Yeah, you probably have a few Geralds in your stomach from... Oh no, maybe not. Unless you go drink water you find outside in a puddle. I've thought about just looking at tap water, but I'm too scared of what I'll find. What if I find something living in there? I don't think you're supposed to have these kinds of water creatures in your tap water. I think he came from outside. It was wet outside. Oh, there's a lot of little guys. Look at that little guy moving. I might give up on Gerald for a bit. He's too much of a... He's too much in a rush. He's too athletic. Makes it really hard to follow. Oh, and he's pulling everything with him when he goes. Yeah, I could magnify a little bit more, but then I'm going to lose him. Just look at him go. Is he eating that? Or is he just stuck? I can't tell. It's hard to see what's in him and what's under him. going, man? If he's crawling on the glass itself, or whether he sort of swims through the water. Yeah, what is he? Okay, it's not quite what I was looking for, but at least it's something alive to look at, which is always nice and interesting. I think he's just crawling around and getting stuck, and then he just forces his way through. I think he wants to escape, but he still has far to go until he gets to the end of the slide. Oh, there's another one of those little things that look like a string of beads. Oh no, I need to focus, but I don't want to lose them. Let's go there. Oh no, where is he? It's like a difficult game. It's hard to follow. Oh, he's stuck now. I think I need to dump him back in the water with all the other guys. Where is he? Did I lose him? No, I lost him. Okay, let's see if I can go back out a little bit. That's a lot of light. It's easier to find them if I'm not zoomed in that closely. Ah, he escaped. Ah, I feel like I'm Sauron. I'm trying to spot the hobbits. He's probably... Maybe he's trying to get out of the way from the light. Because as I move this around, you've got this dot of light moving on the slide. Maybe he just really hates that, because it's quite warm. Oh, that was me putting my finger in front of it. But if I hold my hand there, it does get a little bit warm. Yes, cheers, Gerald. Hope you had a nice little crawl. Is that you? Is that another guy? Did we find him again? I just can't quite... Oh, he's dragging everything with him. Maybe this is his brother. I don't know what his brother's name would be. Maybe this is just him again. That would be such a coincidence, finding the exact same thing. But okay, I think we've seen enough of this little guy. So yeah, this is the edge of the slide. That line there, or the end of the water that's around the slide. As the water evaporates, this little dot will get smaller and smaller and smaller. It's nice to have a little bit of color in here. It's not just everything brownish or beige. Different kinds of dirt and sand and whatever else managed to find outside. Okay, I am going to put some other stuff on a slide. I'm not so sure about the other one I've got. The other moss one I think is going to be vaguely the same as this. But then I had one where I scraped off. So I don't know, is it lichen or is it lichen? Let's go to this window. So if I... Does Google Translate... Oh, spell things for you. Oh crap, wrong keys on the keyboard. So if I type
lichen, lichen, lichen.
Is it lichen then?
Lichen, lichen.
Okay, lichen, fine. Yes, so that was a bit dry when I scraped that off a tree, so I don't know if that's going to work well or not. But yes. Okay, I'm going to quickly make that other slide, but I'm not going to plug the other camera in. That means I need to unplug two USB things, and that's just going to be too much effort. So this is just me going to be slightly quieter for a second, and you won't be able to see what I do. But yes, hopefully not too long. Same process as I did earlier. Just have my glass slides that I just need to clean. And I think I might actually be able to do this easier now because I'm not trying to... Oh, why did I take that slide off? I can leave the slide on while I'm looking, then at least my stream doesn't look this boring. Let's get this back. Now let's just zoom into something that looks nice. I say zoom into, but we're not really zooming. Yeah, let's put this on the screen. This looks pretty. Now I'll quickly create the other slide. This is actually a bit more difficult than I thought this was going to be. This isn't soft like the little leaves, so I have to smash this up. So I'm hoping I'm not smashing something. Okay. Good work. That could work. Add a bit more water. Okay. And the cover slide. Ah, this is also not very well done. So once again, it's too tall, too high. Okay. Yeah, I need to, for next time, I need to sort out my USB situation, my PC, maybe get another hub, make sure I don't have all the cameras on the same ports. I bought one of those smaller form factor PCs, so I don't really have that many available ports, and I've got a hell of a lot of stuff connected. Half of it's for work, so I could probably unplug all of it, but it always takes so long resetting everything up. So I thought I had a nice setup earlier, but I didn't think to test the frame rate. I just thought, oh cool, it didn't work, and then I changed stuff and then it worked. So I thought, haha, success, it works, but unfortunately not. Unless I split these out into a different hub, and then it's easier for me to just plug or unplug which camera I'm currently using. Oh, nice. So this is... Let's go back to my browser. Close all these extra ones. So this is... I don't know how to describe what this is. It's like moss, but it's not. It's these... this stuff. This is what it looked like when I scraped it off the tree. So let's see if something's living in that. Okay. It's green at least. Got some green. We've got stuff moving, which means there's... I saw something move. Maybe it it's hiding underneath something else again, but there's something big moving there. Got a lot of very transparent pieces of plant material, which is nice. Needs to be easy to see. I'm just doing a quick scroll through. There's another nice little leaf. A lot of water bubbles. A lot of pieces of bark or dirt that we unfortunately can't see through. More nice leafy things, more leafy things. Too many bubbles, which is a bit disappointing. The bubbles aren't great to look at. Okay. So in this area, I think I did actually see something move earlier. Depends where I'm focusing. Oh, is this just... Oh no, it's when I touch the microscope it wobbles. That might have just been me wobbling things around. Let's just look at this. Let's do what we did last time. Let's look at the plant. And then if we see something cool, we can just follow it. Looks vaguely similar to the previous. Yeah, so you can definitely see things aren't quite at the same layer. It's not flat. Because I can't get the whole thing in focus. I need to focus on this side, I need to focus on that side. It's going to make it a bit more difficult to see what I want to see. But okay, that looks cool. Looks okay. Other colors of things. That looks cool. Looks very 3D. Fine pieces of moss or lichen or whatever else it could possibly be. I want to find something that's alive again. I guess I just need to go dig outside my window. Just grab a bit of dirt from there. Last time I did that, I saw a lot of tiny microscopic worms. I'm surprised that I'm not seeing as many living things. I expected more. Don't know why, but I did. Let's follow that leaf. Oh, need a bit more light. Oh, that's too much light, sorry. Oh. Something just swam by really quickly, but he was so quick there's no chance I would ever be able to follow him. Yeah, there's so many different layers to focus through here. It's going to be really hard to find something. Because the problem is, if something is swimming there and it swims up and down, I don't just need to change like the movement to find it. I also need to refocus, and that's going to be really difficult. There's something tiny there in the middle, but that's too tiny. Maybe that's like a little bacteria or something. A lot of really tiny things. This green one's just little cells that broke loose. There's a little tiny swimming guy. Oh, I can't really focus on him. He's underneath something. Oh, he's underneath this. That's why I can't focus that well on him, because I need to look sort of through it. And then that ruins the focus of... Okay, that's not going to work. I need to be somewhere else. Let's see, what can we find? I'm just gonna... That's too zoomed in. Oh no, that's too bright and too defocused. That's too much light. Okay. What can I find? I think I should read through a biology book. You get books about, oh, what can you find in the water? What can you find around plants? What can you find here? Just so if I see something, I can actually say, oh, that's I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I know nothing about little tiny water creatures. It took us a while to find something living in the other one as well, so I'm not going to be too discouraged too quickly. Because I did think I saw stuff. Okay, this is me bumping onto the table, and the table bumps the microscope, and the microscope bumps the slide, so everything moves. Maybe everything's sleeping, and I just need to give them a little bit of a shake to wake them up. Nothing close to this leaf. That looks like there's something should be living on this. Usually the grosser something looks, the more living things are on it. That looks gross. Huh, no. I was sure I saw something earlier. I should have just gone for it. But I thought, no. Wow, it looks interesting. Now let's zoom into this. Need to focus. Yeah, you can see all the different cells, and there's quite a few different structures going on. I don't know enough science to explain all of this, but still, it's really, really cool. I just can't quite focus on what I want to focus on. I want to focus on one of those little stems, because you can see the individual green sort of dots going on in the cells. But I think it's too many. Oh wait, what if I do this? And then I push the light up. Yeah, now you can sort of see it. Not quite, but yeah, you can see. Oh no, damn it! Sorry, I bumped this thing. I need to go. Whoops. Ha ha ha. Oh, there is something living right there. You can slowly, sort of moving, but I don't want to look at that. You can see the little green dots. There's like chlorophyll kind of things for photosynthesis. Okay, there's something small moving there. I don't think it's oh, it's going to be too small. Even the 60 doesn't really give us much. Oh, now you can see if I zoom in, or sorry, if I focus, I bump the glass, and then everything moves. Yeah, this is not going to work. Oh wow, look at that. Look at that over there. Okay, let's go back to 400 times. And then let's see if I can find. No, I need to go back to 100 times. That's better for looking and searching. But it lets way more light through. So it ends up being very bright. Keep on looking for something big, and then hoping something's living on it. It just makes sense to me that if there was something, it would have held on to the bigger plant pieces. Wouldn't just be swimming around in a bowl of water. I was going to take a sip of water talking about it. Good. I'm concentrating really hard right now. I don't want to miss something. They're rare enough that what if something's... Yeah, I miss Gerald as well. Like most things in life, you don't know what you had until you lose it. But I can just imagine, maybe he found a little friend. I'll put all his stuff back with the rest, so maybe that's where he was going. Found his little worm girlfriend. The little worm kids. And who are we to keep him away from his little worm family? But yes, I'm hoping maybe we can spot some of his cousins. Yeah, Gerald and Geraldine. Oh, there's something. It's going to be very difficult to follow. It's very quick. Okay. I'm going to have to very quickly change magnification and refocus. And I think I saw him down and to the left. Oh, he's a bit of a fatter one then. Oh, he's too quick. I just can't... Oh, and he's swimming up and down. Oh, that's not gonna... I can easily go left and right, but as soon as he swims up and down, I just completely lose him. Because he defocuses so quickly. No, I mean, there's something tiny there, but I don't think that's going to be too exciting. Yeah, too small. Need something that at least looks like it's a cell or two. Let's go back to... It's too hard to find them when you're not... Maybe I should add a little bit more water. I'm going to do that. It's going to add a little bit more water on the edge and then see if they... Oh, let me just do this quickly. I'm worried they're going to dry out if I spend too much time trying to find. Okay. And now I defocused a lot. Let's see if we can find something. Yeah, not ideal. It's this big blob. I'm hoping everything isn't just hiding underneath this big blob. Yeah, the auto exposure goes crazy when I hit the large big blob because it thinks, oh, there's no light. I need to expose longer, and then my frames drop to like 1. I thought I would find more in this than I would in the moss, but that was wrong. There's a lot of stuff, but I thought having all these fine pieces of greenery. Oh, there's another one of those. I don't know what that is. I wonder if it's like if it's a little creature, is it a little plant? Whether those are like individual cells that are just connected, or whether... I don't know. Don't know enough science to tell. But last time I saw one of those, there was something swimming next to it, but Not here. Oh. Oh, no, what just happened? Oh. Lost the image for a second. Huh. Yeah, sorry, it's flickering a lot. I think it's struggling with the brightness a little bit, and every time it hits one of these darker areas, it just goes completely insane. Yeah, no, there's... Okay, at least we're back to the green. I thought if something was alive, it would be crawling in this area. Why wouldn't you? Maybe nothing is rotten enough for things to eat it. Maybe this is just still too fresh. Maybe I should leave it another few days just to, I don't know, marinate a little bit. How cool that is. So tiny. Oh, that's very bright. Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't something moving, that was just my elbow bumping the table. We do have things living here. There are these really tiny things swimming around, but they're too tiny and too quick. Let's go out a little bit again and refocus. Oh, that's a lot of light. There has to be something. I was sure I saw things when we started looking at this. We said, oh, there's something and there's something and there's something, and then did they all just hide? It's a little bit big. Is it bigger on my screen? It might be a little bit bigger on my screen. It's hard to tell with different monitor sizes, and depends what you're using to look at this. Like I thought about making this a little bit bigger, but then you end up with it being very, very pixelated. So I think it makes more sense to keep it. Oh no, I can't remember where I had it. Vaguely the original size. Otherwise, it does just end up looking. Oh, is that a little bit too pixelated? I spent time getting this. Oh, wait, did we just accidentally find a guy? Yes, we did. Now, this is why I want to get a decent camera, so I can have it the full screen, and if it's a 4K one and I'm just streaming at 1080p, I can... Yay! Look at this little guy. Come on, dude, don't swim up and down. Just... Yeah, he's just like... just chilling. Swimming around this little piece of green. You're really good at naming these guys. He's definitely a Kevin, yes. Ah, but now he's hiding. Kevin's a bit shy. Yeah. Come on, dude. Wish I could, like, poke him with this hand. No. Come on. Oh, I can pet him. Oh. That's so stupid. Yeah, he's just rolling around. Just a round boy. I like these more than those wormy looking ones. They're a bit weird. I just want to see him do something. No, it's unfortunately not a tardigrade. I won't find one. This is my first time trying to find some. And yes, I am not that lucky of a person. he is just, yes, he's just a potato. He's just a little one-cell dude. I still have another bit of moss I gathered from somewhere else that I'm going to put on a slide, and then we can see if I can find... Maybe I'm lucky. But we have only been looking for an hour, maybe? But yes, I don't... That's just optimistic thinking. I'm going to have to... I even looked whether I could order some online where they've got a sample that definitely has a few in, but the only place I could find shipped them from the US, and I think in shipping process and in a little tiny sample, they only stay alive for 2 or 3 days, and I don't want to do that then. Because yes, they're not going to make it to me in 2 and 3 days, and that's going to be really sad, looking at a slide of dead tardigrades. I can't pronounce it. I can't look away from the screen right now because otherwise I'm going to lose this crazy fellow. Look at him go! I'm just so happy we found something living on this slide. I was getting a bit worried. Because yes, I was about 2 days ago. I went outside. I thought maybe some fresh air would do me good. And I gathered some moss and I scraped some of this lichen, whatever, off a tree. And then I put them in water, and apparently you're supposed to leave them for a day or so, and then things start coming out of the plants. Oh no, I lost him. He's swimming up. Wow, he's really high up in the sample now. And yes, but then I put him in my windowsill. I thought maybe the sunlight would be good. But now I'm worried maybe it was too cold. But then it would have been even colder outside, so yeah. It's definitely warmer in my flat than it is outside. Oh no, I'm feeling I'm going to have to apologize ahead of time. I'm going to lose him by going the wrong direction. I always forget which way do I need to turn this knob to go up and which way do I need to turn it to go left or right. But we'll see. Maybe we're lucky. But if we don't find a tardigrade, I can then just title my next stream trying to find tardigrade again. And then times 2, times 3, times 4. So stream titles are sorted out for the next few weeks until we find one. But no, what I do want to do the next time I drag the microscope out is I need to go out somewhere and find a pond of water and go scrape some of that and the algae out, because that would look really cool. Oh, he's very alive now. I'm going to lose him soon. As soon as he swims up and down and I lose focus, I'm going to lose him. Unless I zoom out, but I don't want to just look at this tiny dot swimming. I want to look at this zoomed in round boy going. Go, Kevin, go. Oh no, almost lost him. He's... oh. Where is he going? I mean, if that's all you do. Like, it's not like he has internet. What else is he gonna do but swim around a bit? He's got the zoomies. Oh, now he's tired. Oh, he's stuck. So weird looking. See straight through him. I don't know. Does he have organs? Is he only one cell? I don't know. Maybe I should go take a biology class. Like I've mentioned earlier, it's been a while since I've been in any... Oh no. Thought I lost him. I thought I lost you, Kevin. Keeps going up and down. Stop going up and down. Just go left and right. Or you can go up and down in the image, but like in real life, up and down in the water, then I'd lose him. Does look sort of cool if he's slightly out of focus. Okay, I'm gonna have to... I was hoping we'll follow him and then he takes us to something else that's even cooler. Unless he's scared of the other living things. Okay. Oh, this is making me really tired. Because I'm literally just staring at him, really focusing and trying to move up and down exactly when he moves. It's difficult. Would have been cool if somebody made a microscope that you control with a controller. Bye, Momo. I'll see if I can find something interesting that we can look at when you're back. Because yeah, I think I'm a bit tired of Kevin. You'll have to name the new guy as well, if we find a new guy. Yes, let's give up on him. Let's go back and see. Oh, need to refocus. Yeah, there he is. See if we can find something else. Like there's something going right there that's really tiny. I can't really see it that well. Need to find something big. I mean, it's weird trying to look at something big under a microscope, but big in comparison. Unless we just look at this leaf for a bit. Wow, so green. There's another small thing swimming. Oh, is that an even bigger one? Even a rounder one. Oh, but it's also swimming up and down. Yeah, it's like a little ball swimming. Yeah. Don't know how he swims. How do you swim around if you're just a little ball? Like how? Do you sort of squirt water out the sides? No, don't hide under that. Oh no, wrong way. Oh no, I lost them. Let's zoom out again and see if I can find them. No, that was disappointing. He looked really interesting. Aww. Unless he's behind this thing. Which does not help because it's big. He could just be chilling on the back of that. Okay. Almost completely forgot what day it was. It's good on a Sunday to forget what day it is. The worst thing about a Sunday is knowing it's a Sunday and the next day is Monday. A bit like Garfield. I do hate those Mondays. And then people try and be clever and say, oh, you don't hate Mondays, you just hate your job. Duh. Yes. Sundays are good, no work. Mondays aren't. Okay, I think we've seen what we can see on this slide. So, oh, it's another one of those. I feel like every time I say we've seen what we can see, then there's another guy that just, oh, sorry, it takes me a while to update. No, he's the same sort of thing. Oh, I've got a bit of a hiccup going on, sorry. Oh, he thought he... Is he hiding there? There's also tiny things swimming around, which I don't know if they're bacteria. I'm just saying any tiny thing that swims around, I just say, oh, is that bacteria? It would be really sad for someone who is actually trying to learn anything biological and they watch this and then they fail their test. Yeah, look at him hiding there. I should get a little better pointer. I should in some way connect my drawing tablet to this, and then I can draw a little overlay and I can circle things like the people on the news do, like a weatherman. Or maybe how those American football people draw stuff. That could be cool. Just move the pointer out of the way. Yeah, I was gonna give up on this slide and then I saw this little guy. But he's sort of the same. Another very... Oh no, he's not that round. The previous one we saw was very round. He does stretch a little bit. He's very, very, very much like Kevin. Oh, but look at that tiny guy on the top. I'm tired of these little round dudes. Oh, wow. Look how cool that looks. There's a tiny guy. Just swimming there. Like mini Kevin. No, but there was a Kevin, and then after you left, I think properly, or just when you left, I found another guy that was super round. And I didn't name him. But I think he could have been Bob. Bob looks like a round name. Apologies if anybody ever sees this. His name Bob. Yeah, a lot of tiny people. Okay. I say people. Obviously, if I saw tiny people, I would be really scared. We did discuss Ant-Man earlier. Yes, if I saw a tiny little man, I could probably get a lot of money from that. Science will investigate and see. This looks really cool. Okay, I think it's time for me to try and make another slide. Also with moss, but different moss than the previous one. Yes. So I'm going to get a little bit quieter because I'm off to the side again. But this moss is a lot greener than the previous moss I used. So I don't know if that's... Is that better? Is it worse? Should the moss be old? Should it be slightly rotten? I just thought it looked very alive, and it feels like if you want to look for living things... But I think that's if you look for big living things, look where it's green and nice. If you're looking for tiny microscopic living things, you should look where it's slimy and gross, because that means they're eating stuff. Okay, now I'm gonna have to try and grab some of this moss again. It's really difficult. I already screwed it up. Okay, let's try again. Okay. I think this is a bit too thick again. Really chop this up too finely. Let's just see, maybe... that's even worse than the previous one. Yeah, I think if the plant stuff, if it's too fresh, it doesn't squish down too much. Luckily, we don't have to worry about squishing things. They're all so tiny and microscopic that we're not going to squish them by squishing them between the glass. Okay, let's see. Let's take this one off. Go back to 40 times. Yeah, I think I need to find some grosser plant material. I think this is all just too fresh. Let's get that in focus. So yeah, this is... Oh, there's a lot of live things in this one. But that looks exactly the same thing we just saw, so I'm not going to zoom too far into that one. Oh, I'll be back in just a second. I'm back. Sorry about that. Let's see if we can find something. There's a bit too much light, I think. I don't want to burn them. Oh, there's another little wormy guy. I can't remember what we called him earlier. Oh, was it Gerald? My brain's not. Yeah. But he's just chilling there. He's not moving around too much. Hey, you can see straight through him. Okay, let's go even closer. Oh, what kind of dog do you have? I don't have any pets. Wish I had. This is my only pet currently. It's not quite as cool as a dog, but it's a lot less time intensive. And my landlord doesn't mind this guy. Yeah, so he's just chilling there. Come on, just want to get him centered, and I can. Oh, but I can't focus too well on him because he goes up and down. A little bit gross. Let's look inside him. I don't know, is that like a... Yeah, I wish I knew how these things work. Like, do they have a stomach? Are they just a bunch of cells and things just flow through from one cell to the next one? Yes, dogs are definitely better. I always thought I would get a dog, but these days they just seem like a lot of effort. And currently I can't get one because landlord would be very, very unhappy. Ooh. I'll click on that a little bit later when I'm not trying to chase this guy. Oh, I'm surprised. I thought I auto... I'm not too worried about people posting stuff in my chat yet, but I just assumed the bot would say no links. No links to things. Ah, cute dog. Which means I just told people I click on links they post, but yes. We had one of these when I was really little. But yeah, not anymore. Oh, he just came back by himself while I was looking at the dog. He crawled out of the screen and then he crawled back in. But yes, I'm tired of him. I've had enough of this little worm boy. Let's go find something interesting. I want to find the tardigrade, damn it. But I think that's unfortunately not gonna happen today. I think I need to spend a bit more time and get a better idea of what they actually live in. Yeah, that guy seemed very chill. Didn't seem like he was too concerned about where he was. Not like the original Gerald that was a crazy crawly man. He was speeding ahead. Is that one of the... Yeah, so these are the only things we see. There's Ah, no, I lost him. Don't know. Is that alive? Yeah. Don't know. I thought I would see more living things. I think I need to research and figure out. Because what I read, they just said, "Oh yeah, no, they tend to live in all kind of plant matter. Just go scrape off some moss, and it'll be good." Wow, there's a lot of really tiny things swimming around. You can't really see them too clearly. They're just tiny dots moving. What's that? What's this? Yeah, I wonder if that's like a cell of... I don't know, but yes, a lot of tiny things just zooming around. Don't know what they're doing. Yes, there's definitely a lot more living on this slide than the previous one. Not exactly what we're looking for. I think I need to find some plant stuff and then I need to let it rot maybe. So if more things munching on it. Well, that thing's moving on the left. Where is it going? Unless it's just drifting through the water. Like a chill boat. Yeah, we're back to just looking at leaves. Let me zoom out again. Yeah. I was expecting a lot more living on the greenish bits. There's one little tiny thing there, but that's not going to be big enough or exciting enough to zoom in. Sorry. Always doing weird things. It's not really unless I'm focusing on the wrong. What's that? Don't know what that is. Okay, we're too close, I think. If we want to spot something, we need to be looking at this from not further away, but we need a bigger view. Yeah, we already hit the top of the slide. There's a lot of dust on this one. There's this weird redishy line. Like a bit of chromatic aberration kind of stuff, but... Oh, a little bug. He's outside the slide. Cute. Cool. Okay. Is he trying to go in? I thought most things would be trying to escape. Oh no, he is trying to escape. Sorry. He's on me. Oh no, I'm flipping this. Yeah. Look at him. Oh wow. He must be tiny. You think this is about the same magnification? We can clearly see those other ones who just look like they're like cells or something. Where this is, I don't know what this is, but this looks a lot just like an insect. Still not a tardigrade, but at least it's got legs. But I feel bad for this little guy because he obviously wants to... Aw, Tiny Tony. Yes, we can call him Tony. What the hell? What the hell happened there? Tony teleported. Or the camera maybe glitched slightly. Because on my screen, he was just suddenly gone and then... So yeah, he's trying to get out, which is a little bit sad. Sorry, little dude. So yeah, he's not doing much, he's just... But he's been living in that little water cup for 2 days now. Just look at him. See if I can go... See if I can go even closer now that he's very still. I hope he's not... I can't figure out whether he's under the glass and he wants to leave. Just look at that. That is so cool. It's really hard to... Maybe if I do this, we can see a bit more. So yeah, max light, close down the aperture, and our focal depth is better. Oh no, no, I scared him. Okay, now I can't see him when I'm this zoomed in. I'm losing him. Did I lose him? No. Oh. Can't believe I lost him. How did I lose him? He was just along this edge. Like how? How is that possible? Did he give up and he suddenly ran? Maybe he went up or down. Let me actually look at the slide with my own eyes. Here's my flashlight. No, he's actually... He's actually free. He's not under the glass. He's on the outside. I can see him. He looks like a tiny piece of dust. So yeah, he wasn't trying to escape. He was trying to get in. Don't know why. he would do that. Maybe he doesn't like the slide, because the slide does get a bit hotter when we shine the light on it. Let's dim the lights. Maybe he likes it when it's a bit darker. Oh, he's definitely not speedier now. How did he disappear again? What the hell? Maybe he jumps. Yeah, he's really struggling because he's running on glass. What the hell? Does my camera glitch out and then he just disappears? I just completely lost him again. Okay. Zoom out even more. See if I can figure out what happened to him. Ah, there he is. He jumps. Yeah, he jumps really quickly, but my frame rate is not high enough to catch him. Look at him go. Yeah, I don't know what he is. Does he come from outside? Does he live in my flat and he just crawled on top of this while I was busy? He's not a dust mite or anything like that. What do dust mites look like? Let me go open my browser and we'll see. Just want to keep him on screen. Dust mite. What do they look like? You know, they're gross looking. They're definitely not. I don't know what that little guy is. Oh, I don't think he likes it when I move the slide. Okay, let's see if he just sits still. Just sit still. Let me zoom in a little bit. Oh no, did I lose him? Oh man, I can't get the focus right. That's not him, is it? That looks like him, but that looks dead. Oh no, phew, he's not dead. I don't know if I want to keep on looking at him, because what if he actually does die? Then I'm going to feel really bad. I wonder if he's a little water creature actually, and now he's dry. Ooh, maybe he's a little water creature. Let's give him a little bit of water. If he's not a little water creature, oh, I might have accidentally scooped him back. But yes, I'm not even close to looking at what I should be looking at right now. He's not even on this, on the glass. Oh, I think I might have moved him back. Oh, we lost Tony. Did we? No, Tony's alive. But I think I'm going to stop looking at him because if he decides to just completely stop moving, I'm going to feel really bad. But he's cuter than anything else I've found so far today. Just don't know what he is. And I don't know whether he lives in the water or whether he lives on the dry area. So I can't tell. Should I give him more water? Should I not give him water? So yeah, he could be my little pet for the day. Aww. Okay. Okay, it's time to... He has moved very far. He has moved basically the entire distance of how big that glass little square is. That's how far he's moved on his own. Okay, I'm going to leave him while he's still moving. Are you still moving? If I sort of knock this. Come on. Give it more light, bit less light. Does he like the dark, maybe? Oh, my camera's gonna die when I do this, I think. I don't think it can handle the lack of light. Oh, that's way too much light. Yeah, now he's just chilling. Oh no, okay, he's moving. Okay, he's moving. I'm gonna move away, just in case. I don't wanna feel bad. Go back to what we were actually looking for. Let's see. But now, after seeing him, I don't know, man. Oh, that red is not from outside. See more tiny things swimming around. Yeah, he's definitely not what I was gonna find, but I'm okay with finding him. He was a cool little dude. Gave us a bit of entertainment. Is that another worm? That's another worm. One of Kevin's cousins. I feel like I've seen too many of them now. They're not exciting. More tiny things. Maybe I should just ignore all the specimen kind of things I tried. There's another guy exactly like him on the other side of the slide, also trying to get in. The fact they try and get in makes me feel like they want the water. And then if I dump more water on, could swim away. Oh no, now I moved him. Yeah, now there's way too much water here. I sort of screwed this up a little bit. You can see everything moving. Or just streaming underneath the glass. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird that I found more things outside the sample area than within. Yeah. I haven't found... No little water bears today, unfortunately. I'll have to figure out how. So yeah, this is, let me show that. How do I easily show? I want to show you where I got the idea of looking for them. From a guy called Microbe Hunter on YouTube, who does all these really cool. So Microbe Hunter I say tardigrade, but it's tardigrade.
So hi.
So yeah, let me quickly put this guy on browse. Yes. So yeah, so this guy.
Microbe hunter here, and today let's go not microbe hunting but bear hunting. As a matter of fact, I want to show you today how you can find those little water bears that you can see behind me. And not only that, I'm also going to explain to you towards the end of this video of why those little water bears can now also be found on the moon. A rather unusual story, I have to tell you. Well, first of all, those...
Yeah, so this is the little dude that I want to find. And see, they call them here, they also call them moss piglets because apparently they live in moss a lot. And, oh yeah, over here they've got moss piglets as well. So I think, I mean, they're not rare, or as rare as I thought, but I don't think you're just going to find them by really quickly clicking on something. But yes, this is...
I allowed tardigrades to dry up and then come back to life again. I put a link into the description and at the end of the video, in the end titles, you can also click on the link to this video. Well, tardigrades are so-called pioneer animals, and this means that when there has been a natural disaster like a volcanic eruption, for example, where everything's destroyed, everything's burned up, tardigrades are one of the first animals to resettle there in this new environment.
Yeah, so they're amazing little dudes. This is not actually the video I watched the other day. This one where he goes out and...
It was a very successful undertaking. If you want to observe tardigrades yourself, I recommend that you collect some moss and that you rinse out the tardigrades using a little bit of water, or at least dip the moss on your microscope slide with a little bit of water, and then the tardigrades are going to be rinsed out, and then you can also observe them under the microscope.
So maybe I shouldn't actually have the big piece of moss on there. I should put a drop of water there and dip the moss in the water and try and shake them loose. But this is not the video of his I watched the other day. I watched... I don't know which one he had a few. But yes, there's one where he... maybe this one.
So hi, hello and welcome.
Pause him again. Yeah, so scraping some moss off a rock. That's vaguely what I did. It's different than the moss I've got, but basically the same. So yeah, I think you just need to be lucky. And yeah, he's got his piece of moss on his microscope. He's obviously got a very good microscope, but I don't think it matters. You don't need to. They're not that small. We would be able to see them if they were there. Let's look at the little dude go. Okay, but maybe next time we'll be able to find one. Or let me try another slide. I'm going to put a drop of water in. Oh, hey, BB. We are searching for a tardigrade, but we haven't found them yet. We've just found other small, tiny, swimmy animals and some weird little bugs which shouldn't have been there in the first place. So I'm going to give one more go and see if we can find that little guy. Let's keep this just on something that's interesting while I spend a few seconds making another slide. But this time all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a piece of moss and I'm just going to dip it on a slide and see if whatever's on it washes off. Maybe that works better, but let's give it a go. And I think that's going to be the last slide we'll look at. So yeah, it might be a bit hard to hear me because I'm off to the side. Just getting the glass slide ready, getting the cover slide ready. I don't know which moss I should use, the first moss I had or the second. I'm going to take the first one. Then I'm just going to take a piece and I'm literally just going to dip and rub it on the slide. This might be too hard. And now I don't know when you should stop, because with one piece of moss you might push it off onto the slide, and with the next piece you could scoop it up again. Okay, let's do this. Oh, that's too big. Then I just need to put the cover slide on. Oh, I need a bit more water. Okay. Let's try this one. Take this slide off. And let's focus on this one. So this one doesn't have any big pieces. It's a lot of tiny pieces that got loose. Okay, let's take a sip of water. Okay, so let's start searching. There's some very tiny things swimming around that's really quick. We're not going to have any big pieces of plant like previously, which we could just... There's something moving over there. Once again, this could be anything. I'm not going to have unrealistic expectations. It's about the search currently. We're not really expecting to find... Yeah, it's just sort of... Oh, it's really tiny things just swimming and bumping into that. Okay, let's zoom out again. Oh. Yeah. If you had a nicer microscope, you don't have to refocus that often when you switch. Oh, I accidentally twisted my camera. Let me just twist it correct. So if I go right, I actually go right. If I go left, it's not quite perfect yet. Left is left. Ah, that's good enough. Let's see if we can see anything. That's not just dirt. Tiny piece of plant. It's outside the glass. Let's go back to the center. If I move too quickly, then I move it. Is that something crawling around? Holy shit. Oops. We found one. This is amazing. I was not expecting this. Look at his little feet. See if I can get closer. Wow, I did not expect this at all. Oh no. Check this out. He's slipping, he's trying to crawl on the glass and he just can't do it. What can I do to get a better image of him? They're so translucent, you just see straight through them. So yes, you can definitely pick a name for this dude. Or girl, I don't know how you classify them. But yeah, they've got 6 or 8 legs. They've got 8 legs maybe. And each leg, yeah, you can clip whatever you want. I do not mind. That would be good, actually. So yeah, you can see the little feet. You can see the little claws. We are so lucky that we spotted this one just before I gave up. So yeah, it seems like the best way to do this is not to have a piece of the actual plant life. There could have been one, but he could have just been hiding. He's just sort of stuck in that. He's not really crawling too much, but yeah, he's got his hind claws. Ooh, let's go for Winnie. Yeah, let's call him Winnie. And he is a bear. Don't really want to call him Pooh Bear. I feel like that's insulting, but I just want to keep him slightly in focus, but it's really hard. It's really hard to get him in focus. Maybe if I do this, then we've got more of him. So now we have a deeper focal depth, so we see more at the same time, but because it's so translucent, it just looks... Okay, let's not do that. If I do this, then we only see one layer at a time, but it's really hard to get... We sort of need to do this to go through. So 1, 2, 3... You can see all these... Yeah, 8 legs. Okay, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to this. Oh man, I'm so happy right now. Just want to get him in the center. Get him a bit more in focus. Yeah. Yeah, and each leg has 4 or 5 claws. Yeah, and he's just chilling. He's just crawling his way through. Yeah, so this is my new pet. I don't know how long they live, but yeah, they live through everything. From what that other video sort of just said, you can dry them completely out and then they're basically dead. And then you add some water and they just hydrate again and they live. They are incredibly hardy things. Just look, you can see straight through him and see everything going on inside. I feel a bit bad that he doesn't actually have anything to climb on. He's just trying to grab onto the glass, I think, and it's just failing. Ah, I'll put him back in the water when I'm done. There's probably a lot more of them. I don't think this is the only one, but I'm not moving away from this guy. This is now what I'm looking at until we're tired of looking at him. Because what if I move and we don't find him again, and I'm going to be really sad. Oh, I'm so happy I don't have to change my stream title. Oh, I am going to change. I'm going to change it from searching for a tardigrade to we found a tardigrade! Exclamation mark. Cool. Oh, now I really wish I had that better camera. I wonder if this is a hair or whether it's like a whisker or... Huh. Oh, this is so cool. I feel like a scientist. Just trying to see if I can focus on a different level where we see something. Oh no, that's... So this is coming from underneath, so his claws are closest to us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if he's got 8 legs, is he technically a spider? Probably not. So yeah, look at those little claws. 1, 2, 3, 4 claws on each foot. And they're tiny. So this is 400 times magnification. If I go through, then you'll start seeing his back. Oh, it's too far. Yeah. So now it looks like we're looking from the top. We're not. It's just because we're focused on the one side of him because he's completely translucent. And you can see everything that's going on the inside. All those orangey bits. You can see his mouth. Do they have eyes? No, he's got a mouth, but I don't know if he has eyes. I just want to make sure the slide doesn't dry out. I'm just going to add a little bit more water. and hope he doesn't get washed away. Because yeah, it would be sad if it dries out. Oh no, I already bumped it. I'm gonna have to find him again. But I'd rather accidentally bump it than having it dry out on while we're watching. Cool, found him again. Let's look at him go. Oh, that's too bright. Yeah, I don't know if I want to zoom in all the time. You can see. You can see him crawling around a bit better when you're not that. So yeah, so this is 40 times, and then you can see him just about crawling there in the center, just having a good time. Just oh, I added some water so you can see the water. Oh no, that's an air bubble moving towards him. No, go away, stop. I don't want the air bubble moving. Don't know what to do about that if that air bubble moves straight up towards him. That side of the slide still has a lot of water, so I'm not too worried about him drying out. I'm just worried about this air bubble. But okay. Let's go in closer. Let's go find Winnie again. Yeah, that air bubble's coming a lot closer. So this is 100 times magnification. Oh, this is where I really wish I had that dog field. Because I think he would look really cool with the background being all black. And then you just see him look a bit more 3D. Oh, I still can't believe we found it. Shouldn't that be more difficult? So apparently this isn't difficult. If I knew this wasn't difficult, I would have done this ages ago. Why did I spend my time looking at nonsense like salt crystals or my hair when I could just have been trying to find little water bears? Let's go closer. Oh no, that's too... Maybe I am just really lucky. Oh no, what happened? Sorry, my camera's just doing weird things. I would want to adjust the settings to something nicer and maybe take a nice picture. One that I can use for the thumbnail for if I upload this VOD. I can be surprised YouTube face. If you can teach him some tricks. If you can go fetch something, but he's very slow. I don't think that's gonna work. Did he bite onto that? Because that's his head. Oh, now he's looking down, so it's really hard to focus on him. Maybe if I close... Do I need to open this a bit? Yeah, so that's his head. Almost looked like a little lizardy thing for a second. No, that's really hard to get him nicely in focus. Let's close this down completely. Oh no, that's not great. That was a bit. Right now, as soon as I touch these settings and change them away from auto, he's going to do something, and then I'm going to lose him. Just wish he wasn't stuck in all this sort of dirt around. I think that's his head. What if that's his head? Oh no, that air bubble's moving and it's pushing him away. That's the problem with, one problem I have with the microscope, which I wish I bought a different one. Some of them have LEDs and some of them have little halogen bulbs. The halogen bulbs heat up a little bit, which then causes stuff to dry out quicker, and then, yeah, you can see things move. But that's only if you look at one thing for a really long time. And we have been looking at this guy for a while now. But yes, I'll make sure for this sample I'll put him back with the rest of the water. And I'll dump them outside just in case, so you can go and live free. But this means there must be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them in that bit of water I scooped out. Because, well, I literally just grabbed a big piece of moss and I just rub it on the glass for a little bit. And that's all I did. And then we got him. Look at those little legs go. I wish there was something we could see him eat. But I don't know what they eat. Only those tiny microscopic things. Do they eat like plant stuff, or do they eat tiny, tiny animals? Or do they eat other water bears? There's a cannibal bear. I don't think so. Looks too kind and sweet. Oh, the stupid mouse cursor, sorry. Yes. No, I don't think he eats Tony. Tony's much bigger than he is. He'll probably eat Kevin. But that's okay, I don't care for Kevin that much. I'm saying Tony was much bigger than he is. Not, probably not. Maybe they're about similar size. But I don't think so. I think... Yeah, I think Tony was a bit more insect-like. I think Tony would ruin his day if they had a fight. But almost nothing kills him, so he'll just keep on surviving. He's a survivor. Oh, he let go of that. Yeah. I wonder why everything's stuck to him. Maybe that's just how he lives. Very cute. Or I'm saying cute. Are they really cute? They are. Okay, let me just check the slide to make sure there's still enough water on. Gonna add a bit more water around the edge, but that's probably gonna mean everything suddenly moves. I just don't want it to dry out. So yeah, I don't know, we're gonna have to... But he's not that hard to find. We just need to go back to... something that's... Oh yeah, just look at... Is that a water... Is that a bubble? It's just pushing him. Yeah, I don't know where that's taking him. It sucks. Every time I add water, things start moving around. But if I don't add water, he's gonna dry out. And then I'm gonna feel bad. Yeah, it's so weird walking around and suddenly you walk on moss and next to moss and you never think that these things are just crawling around everywhere. Oh, how can I free him from that area? Don't like the bubble. I don't think there's anything we can do about it, unfortunately. He's still just crawling around and getting himself stuck in all these bits and pieces. Let's see if there's another one. I feel like that was a bit greedy, but yeah, I would have thought that this is a water bubble, but there's obviously stuff on the inside as well, so maybe it's just I don't know. Maybe it's a bubble within a bubble. I think that's just red stuff. That's not another. It's not another one. Oh crap, there's another one. Holy. I just want to use my beep button. I feel a bit bad for the other one now. That's why I don't want to look at him. These things must just not be as rare. I think I just did it wrong. Ah, but he's hiding under that. Oh, this is literally on the edge of the slide. This is too... Is that another one? Yeah, you can see the little legs. This one looks less orange than... Okay, maybe I'm too zoomed in for this one. It's hard to get the focus. Yeah, this one's a bit less orange. Oh. Yeah, it looks very cloudy here. Why is it suddenly looking so cloudy? Oh. That one... This is not another one. No, this is a worm. I was worried that I'm accidentally off the slide with that one. I think I was off the slide. I think that other one's free. I think he crawled. I think I accidentally got some water on the lens itself. That's why it suddenly got so blurry. No! Oh, there he is. Oh, wow! Look at him go! Look at those little legs. Maybe it's a good thing these things are really tiny. Was it in Star Trek? Was it in Discovery? What's the newer Star Trek called? I think they had a big one. So yeah, this one doesn't have as much attached to him, so you can... Okay, let's see if I can zoom in again. I don't know what happened with my other so this got really blurry really quickly. I just can't make out the details that nice. Yeah, very cloudy. I think I might have gotten a little bit of water on the front of this lens. Oh man, it's really hard to fuse a... It's a bit bigger than the other one. Also more active. No, I can't really make out what he's doing on this lens. I need to go back to this lens. So yeah, we can just see him crawling there in the middle, doing his thing. Just make it a bit darker. Really hard to focus. Let's see. Oh. Oh, now he's hiding. Yeah, this one looks a lot more like a tiny little animal than the other one. The other one was a bit hard to see. Where this one's more from the side, so you can actually see, hey, there's the head, there's the little legs. It's really hard to keep him in focus. This way. Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, this was really good. I feel like I achieved something again. Had a goal, and we achieved that goal. How often does that happen? Maybe I should quit my software job and become like a, I don't know, who looks through microbiologist. But then you have to go back to university. I definitely don't want to go back to university. That I had enough studies in my life. Now I'm almost wondering, are there more? But no, I think that's going to be too greedy. I think we're going to watch this little guy for a bit, and then I think that is where I am going to end it. Getting a bit hungry. It's been 3 hours. Wow. I believe it's been 3 hours. Yeah, I'm sure if a real microbiologist looked at this, they would think, what is this guy doing? That's not how you're supposed to do. And then they're going to say a word that I don't know what it means. Oh, I keep on having to focus this way and then focus that way, depending on which way around he's crawling. Wow. I feel I should definitely go wash my hands after touching that water before I eat. Don't want to accidentally eat one of these little guys. Looks like they always, I don't know if they get stuck accidentally, but it feels like if they touch something, their little claws just get stuck. Oh, I should go buy a better camera. This would have been so much better if I could have actually gotten a really good image and a really good video out of this. But the quality of this is not that bad. It's okay for what it is. I think it's like £100 or something, or £90 or whatever, for something that just works. Imagine if you could actually hear him talk. Like, what would you call a microscope but for sounds? Tiny little microphone that you drop next to him, and then he just sort of leans in and it goes, hello. Oh wait, let me where is that setting? Oh, it's the first time I'm trying this. So he just leans in and he goes,
Hello? Oh, this sounds so stupid. Oh, that's a bit much. Yeah, maybe just like this. Yeah. It's like, hey. Hey, I'm a little tiny water bear. Hello. Have you got any food? Okay, I'm gonna change this back. I'm finding this a lot more funny than it actually is. Oh wow. Okay.
Okay. Oh no, that's not right.
is that back to normal? I think that's back to normal, yes. Oh. That was funny. Funny to me. Still just crawling there. And they start off being a bit cute. And you look at them and you think, oh, then it ends up being a little bit sad. Because he's not doing anything. He's just sort of drifting there. And you think, would he usually be doing something? Is he just doing this because he's stuck in the microscope? Maybe he's just shy. It's like, why are you looking at me? Or he's just like most tiny things, he's just looking for something to eat. Okay. Talking about wanting something to eat, I think this is time for me to also start thinking about what am I going to eat. Because I was going to do a really short stream, so I haven't even had lunch yet. Bit late for lunch now. What time is it now? Oh, it's 3:30 over here. So yeah, definitely getting a bit hungry. And if I stream any longer, you're going to hear my stomach growling. And nobody wants to hear that. You're going to think it's the little water bear growling, but no. It's just me being hungry. Yes. But that was really cool. I'm really happy we tried that. Did not expect to see one. I was just about to give up. And then like, okay, let's just give it one more go. And that does just show you that you shouldn't give up too quickly. Or if we just tried and we didn't find it, it probably would have showed you maybe we should have given up and tried another day. But yes, very, very cool. Very, very, very cool. I really, really enjoyed that. I think I'm not gonna search for them again next time I drag the microscope out. Next time I think gonna try and find something else. Maybe I'll go find, like I said earlier, some pond water and find some tiny other water creatures. That won't be as exciting. Or I'll try and think of something else. Something else that's interesting. I don't know, little bits of vegetable or whatever. I'll have a think. But yes, it'll be a few more streams until I do this again. Don't want to do it too much and then I just get tired. And then what did I buy this thing for if I get tired so easily? But yes, very, very nice stream. It's a good end to my weekend. Thank you so much for watching and commenting and for naming all these cute little animals. I think that's part of the fun. Oh yes, I created a Twitter account and I tweeted one tweet that said tweet ? And that was my first tweet ever. I've never used social media things. Try to keep things private, but I think trying to keep things private by also streaming, that's not the road to success. So yes, I'm gonna occasionally tweet something. I'll probably take a screenshot of where we found the little bear, and I might tweet that out. Just as a tweet, because otherwise I don't know. I don't know what to tweet. What do people tweet? Do they just find someone else and tweet at them? Do they just tweet anything they want? I don't know. How does this stuff work? Which is weird, because Twitter is really old by now, and you would have thought that I would have figured that out. Do people... Alright, people do still tweet, right? What do the young people do these days? Do they tweet? Do they just talk on Discord? I don't know. But yes. Back to food. I don't know what I'm gonna make, but I hope it's good. And yes, I hope you can get some good food as well, or you had some already. And yes, good luck with the week. I'll see. At some point it would be nice if I can actually get a schedule, but that is impossible to know. Almost definitely not tomorrow, because I have a meeting that's really late. And I'm going to be tired after that. Tired and grumpy. But yes. Oh, you can't message? I'll have a look. Maybe I've accidentally set all the privacy settings too high. I thought I just left it all default, but I'm so used to when I sign up for everything, I just lock down all the privacy settings. But in this case, that's obviously not what I want to do. But cool. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And yeah, thank you for spending time with me looking for little water bears. I hope you have a good night and have a good week. Cheerio.